On YouTube, there's a lot of videos on Mike Tyson, and I've done a few in the past, but there's very little videos out there that really break down exactly what he's doing when he switches and he shifts, and how he uses his footwork and how his style was so unique. And today I'm going to break that down for you. And one of the first examples I'm going to show you is when he fought Marc when he was coming up before he won the world title. And the way that the demonstration I'm going to show here, I got Coach Joe D, is that how he used that shift. He turned southpaw and he landed this knockout in this fight. The way he did it is he threw a jab. When he threw the jab at Marc Young tried to bob, anticipating Tyson throwing a right hand. So what Tyson would do with that move is how he would get away from the counter shot and he would replant his feet in a southpaw position to land the punch that he landed in that fight, and he did it in many fights, and he ended up knocking Young out with it. He'll throw a jab, Marc Young bobs and weaves under like that, and he's in that position, see? So Tyson would be right here for a left hook, okay? But instead, what Tyson does is he shifts his feet this way. See, now that left hook he's out of the way of that left hook, and he's able to throw. What he threw in that fight was like a half hook, half uppercut, half hook. So the way that looked is he throws, and he bobs, and then he shifts. Boom, and then he throws it right up. He threw it right up the middle on Young. It was like a 45, a half uppercut, half hook. And he threw it right up the middle. But the way that, if you watch my feet, what he's doing there is Tyson was always almost in a neutral position. He wasn't always in a right-handed, he wasn't in a left-handed. He was in a neutral position, so he could switch. Sometimes he'd be a little bit more in a right-handed stance. That was the way he would come out. But the closer he would get into his target, the closer he was to the guy, he would start to turn neutral. He would make little shifts and little steps and get in a neutral position. And like I said, in that Young fight, he threw a jab, Young bobbed underneath like that. And then Tyson, instead of staying there for the hook or to come back with the hook, he switched his feet. And now he's out of the way from the hook, and then he threw it right up the middle on Young and knocked Young out. Again, to really break it down, is when he would jab and he would see the guy bobbing and going this way on the shot, he would turn his shoulders this way and then shift. So he's taking his shoulder basically to that guy's right shoulder. So he's going right shoulder to right shoulder, and then he's shifting and throwing a shot right up the middle.
From Young.
Strong body blows, but he hit him with a quick left right there. And snapped the head back. And a lot of times you catch a guy on the right side of the chin.
I'm fortunate to be that.
You have the big knockout punch. You're the big heavy hitter.
So the techniques that we went over that Mike Tyson used with the shifts and the switches, I want to show you a way that you can work on that in the gym on the heavy bag. And like I said, it's all about footwork, but when you got to use an object to use that footwork properly. So now I'm in this position, toes are facing this way, okay? My toes are facing the bag this way. I move my head, and then when I move my head, I'm going to turn my shoulders, point my right shoulder at the bag. I'm in position to throw a left hook to the body or a left hook to the head. But instead of doing that, I torque my body, boom. Now I got my toes facing that way, and I'm in position to throw a right hook to the head, right hook to the body, 45 like he hit Marc Young with. So that's what I'm doing here. I'm jabbing, show you the demonstration. I jab, I slip, and I skip step, I scissors kick my feet, and I switch, and I put myself in a southpaw position. So there's a couple ways that you could practice what Mike Tyson did, because Mike Tyson used to use a windshield wiper movement, and he used to draw the letter U. So that was the way he moved. He moved his head this way, and then he draw the letter U. He would bob and weave, okay? So you could do the same thing with the bob and weave. You could throw the jab, instead of using the windshield wiper movement and shifting, you could throw the jab and bob underneath. Jab and bob underneath. Now you watch, when I bob underneath, I synchronize my feet and my shoulders together. That's the key. When I jab, I bob, I turn my right shoulder towards the bag, and now when I switch my feet, you'll see me turn my left shoulder towards the bag, okay? And I skip step my feet to be able to throw my right hook. Like, in other words, I'm in position to throw my left hook here, my right shoulder's gonna turn, and my toes are gonna turn towards that way. They're gonna towards facing the bag when I bob and weave underneath. Now, my shoulders are gonna turn, this left shoulder's gonna go to the bag, and I'm gonna put my feet facing the bag at this angle, in a southpaw position. So if you can watch that again, I'm jabbing here, I bob underneath, I turn, and there it is, all in one motion. Jab, under, right shoulder's turned towards the bag. Now, I'm gonna skip step, I'm gonna switch my feet, and then they're gonna be facing to well, right now, it's gonna be facing to my right. See, that's what I did right there. Now my toes are facing that way, and I'm in position. I got my shoulders in position that I can throw power into a right hook. So I'm in position to throw a left hook. I'm in position to throw a left hook. I'm in position to throw a left hook. Now I skip step. I'm in position to throw a right hook.